Welcome to 2017, and I'm here with Dale Smith from RealFoundations. Thank you for joining me, Dale.
Good to see you.
So tell us, first and foremost, what are some of the things you're seeing at the show that have caught your attention?
To me, the biggest thing is the pace of technological change.
Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about the number of new companies and applications that are available to the real estate industry and the amount of investment that's gone into that and how quickly that's changing. And if you think back historically about the real estate industry, we've been very slow to adopt new technology. In fact, we heard yesterday in the opening session that technology is advancing at about 200 miles per hour. Real estate's adopting that technology at 25 miles per hour. So there's a big disparity, and I think a lot of people were surprised by that. A lot of attendees were kind of caught off guard.
I mean, that is what the keynote says, but yet I'm over here with Dell, and they've got gateways that are this small that are running all kinds of things. We've had visualization companies come. We have had artificial intelligence sales calls. We've got virtual assistants. We've got drones. I mean, it's a fun thing to say in a keynote, but do you really think that real estate is adopting technology that slowly?
I do, but I see that pace is starting to pick up.
Okay.
Okay, so historically very slow, just on the cusp of increasing that adoption rate. The millennials that we're hiring into our organizations are driving that. So if you think about, we're all used to being on our iPhones now. We order Amazon with one click. Everything's in the cloud. That speed is faster. So the millennials are coming into our organizations and demanding that. They're saying, I don't want to go to a computer on my desk and log in and do things. I want to work on my iPad. I want to work on my phone.
You know, you say millennials, and I just had Sandy Jackalow here from Silverstein yesterday, and he was saying, you know, all the stuff that we're saying is being driven by millennials is stuff that we all like. You probably use your Netflix on your iPhone and iPad.
Right.
So,
yes.
you know, I almost hate that we're giving millennials all the credit for all this great change. But one thing that you're right, people are demanding to be able to work from different places. No one feels like they should have to go somewhere they don't need to be. Would you say that's one of the things driving all of this?
Absolutely, I would. And if you look at, rent is going up. It's harder to find good employees.
Right.
So if you say, I only want my employees to be in downtown Manhattan, it's harder to find the resources. So you're having to look in other cities across the US. Then all of a sudden you have this remote workforce because now you're going where the talent is.
Right.
And so you're having to change your infrastructure and let people log in from anywhere, work from home, and enable that.
What are some of the other drivers you're seeing?
The other driver, one of the big ones, is the change to SaaS.
Right.
So historically, we've had big data centers, we've had Citrix, we've had all this infrastructure to support a workforce that's in a couple offices and then at buildings. Now where everything's going to SaaS, it's all internet enabled. The days of the big data center hosted by real estate companies is really going away. We're seeing a lot of our clients are dismantling their data centers. They're going to very small ones and moving everything to the cloud. And then ease of access, any device through an internet browser, and you can access all your information.
How is RealFoundations helping your clientele adopt all of this?
So we're going in and looking at what their business needs are, and that's really where it starts from, and the big driver of that is information. So a lot of people look at technology and say, I need technology, and we're talking about technology. We're not talking a lot about information. So the real key to picking technology and getting a benefit from it is what information do you need to make better decisions? How do you predict forward-looking decisions and how that's going to impact your business? So when you're looking at technology, pay attention to what information do you need? How does it help you run your business? Get the technology that gives you that information.
Right. I mean, you'd almost rather have an ounce of technology than an ounce of information than a pound of technology.
Right.
So okay, so you're using these things. Are there any other, when you're talking about the pace of change, you've got the cloud, you've got the interconnectivity, software as a service, as you mentioned.
Right.
Any other factors that you're looking at?
The other big changes right now are things like Microsoft's Yammer and Teams and those collaboration. The other change that we're really driving with our clients is stop sharing information over emails, stop attaching files to it, because now you've got different versions in people's inboxes.
Right.
How do you manage that? How do I know where the latest version of that proposal was? Implementing cloud document storage systems. People can edit at the same time. You know exactly where your documents are. You can protect your IP of your company better instead of having all that just out.
Typically, what do you guys use for your shareable platform?
So we believe in the Microsoft ecosystem, and so we have deployed Yammer. You know, we're a global workforce, and so we use Yammer and Teams very extensively within RealFoundations to collaborate. And the nice thing is we can share information around the world very quickly.
Tell me one of the success stories coming from your team in the last year.
So even internally, we have a managed services department where we support Yardi, MRI, and JD Edwards users.
Right.
And then what we've done in Yammer is we can access instantly all the information that's in the heads of our consultants. We have consultants that are out implementing things. In Yammer, if I'm seeing something at a managed service client, I can post, I'm seeing this issue. Immediately, all of my consultants and my managed service personnel around the world see that in Yammer, they can post. I get an immediate answer, but really one of the most important things is that information is not in my inbox, it's in Yammer, where anybody in the company can now go search. Next time we have that same problem, they search in Yammer, they get the same answer, so we give consistent answers to our clients.
When you look out at the show this year, what are the new, I know we were talking about the distinction between information and technology, we'd rather have good information, but what are some of the new technologies that are really capturing your imagination?
Wow, that's a good question. Really looking at the applications that are driving improvement in operations. So now we're going away from the big, the JD Edwards, the big two. Here's an app that you can put on your iPad that enables your leasing agents to be more productive.
Right.
VTS, things like that, are the more specific to a specific business function.
Mm-hmm. I mean, down to the level we had people here yesterday who have monitoring sensors and software that used to look at things on a monthly aggregate or even a weekly aggregate. Now it's every 15 minutes the information is coming back, so you're able to make adjustments on a real micro level. What else besides this appification of the industry? What else has your eye?
You're right. So the data is becoming big, almost too big, right?
Yeah.
And so the whole thing is, how do you take that information and apply it? How do you analyze it? And so moving to the cloud, moving to Azure, AWS really helps with that. Otherwise, you'd be building giant data centers to support all the computing power that you need to analyze that data.
Right.
And the information's only as good as you can consume it and then use it to make better decisions.
What do you think are people's biggest barrier to being open to adoption these days?
One is understanding the benefit of it, right? And then if you can go back to the information that we've been talking about and say, I need information to run my business, that's really the value proposition, to go to the C-level suite and say, we can provide this information, not just selling technology for technology, because people are resistant to that. Where's my value proposition?
What do you see as, in the next, looking down the next 24 months, 36 months for RealFoundations, what's next for you?
Really moving away from the big giant projects, the big JD Edwards implementations, really more working with our clients to understand how they apply this technology on these smaller scales. Now that we're going to the SaaS, one of the key things they do is they trickle out that functionality.
Right.
Right? And so it's just like when you upgrade an app on your iPhone, you're not going through training and this big deployment and all that. You're updating it, you're accepting it, and you're teaching yourself that new functionality. That's where we're moving. And so we're helping our clients take those applications that they have and use them more efficiently to improve their business operations.
Terrific. Dale Smith, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Dale Smith, Marketing Director from RealFoundations, Managing Director from RealFoundations. Dale touched on the various entry points to different technology.